Hi guys, Bill here again. Do you know, I watch far too much YouTube, I really do. I came across this monkey, and a whole bunch of chimps just like him, dripping about an article that was written about the ridiculous state of Brazil's and some other countries' rape laws. Have a read, it's down in the low bar. The article's written tongue-in-cheek. It makes a point that you really have to be careful who you decide to have sex with, especially in modern Brazil. The staggering number of ways that a woman can punish a sexual partner, it's just mind-boggling. This article probably ring a few alarm bells for the PUA and the men going their own way crowd. Be very careful about what you get up to when you're jetting off to the developing world. But of course, like most things in life, it's not quite that simple. See, Brazil's been a hot destination for sex tourism for an awful long time. Each one of those laws was put into place for a reason, because the Brazilians, understandably enough, they want to protect their youth from sexual predators. And naturally enough, Brazil's feminists have gotten in on the act. But I reckon organised religion's got it's got a case to answer to here as well. Prostitution is rife in the holiday destinations. Prohibition is probably not going to work, purely because of the economic situation. Rich Westerners are always going to be targeted by poor people in the developing world. And sex sells. It's not a moral issue, it's a practical one. Legal safeguards protecting the sex workers, protecting the working boys and girls, and their customers, I suppose, to a certain extent, would be the sensible solution. Now I'm talking about, a red light district approach, where sex workers are regulated by a system that's primarily devoted to their welfare. Now it works, you can see it in various European countries, you can see it in Australia and other places too. Or you could go for the hypocrisy card, like we do in the UK, where you've got massage parlours. They're generally left alone, right up to the point where they start dealing in human trafficking. So there's options. But the big problem is that prostitution is a sin in the eyes of the church. An adult approach isn't going to work because it gets opposed by the religious at every turn. The Brazilian legal system is just making the best of a bad lot. They passed a raft of legislation so that they can hammer sexual predators. And naturally enough, the feminist lobby have taken the opportunity they were given. They've forced through a few laws of their own, property laws and such like, that they've got nothing to do with protecting the working boys and girls. But they do benefit feminism in Brazil, feminism in general, and it pushes the agenda forward. The problem with that is not just to adult males in Brazil, it's to the males working in the sex industry there. If males are demonised, they get absolutely no protection at all. So there's a lot going on. I've put some links down in the low bar. I've barely scratched the surface of this. Now the links aren't to do with the sex industry, it's more to do with poverty in Brazil. If people in Brazil were wealthier, there wouldn't be any prostitution, there'd be no requirement for it. Which kind of brings me back to the angry mob, busy shouting down that original article. Look, guys, you got to get a sense of humour about this. The author of that report, and the reason that report is so popular in all sorts of different sites in Brazil, not just the men's rights ones, is because he lives in a country where looking at a woman the wrong way can ruin your life. And more than that, the chances are his childhood sweetheart ended up getting banged by a succession of fat bald tourists before she even looked at him, I think they're entitled to let off a wee bit of steam. And you got to admit, it was funny. Anyway, if you're still angry and you're still upset and you want to continue being angry and upset, fine, do something for the country. Turn your energy into action. Brazil is a wonderful place. It's absolutely filled with amazing people with tremendous ideas about how to improve their lot. They're not ones for sitting on their arse. And mostly it's just a tiny wee cash injection that's needed to get their dreams off the ground. You don't have to give to charity. Just pop down there on vacation, spread those tourist dollars around a bit. Get yourself mugged round the back of the Copacabana. Yeah, that's bound to give you a wee adventure story for when you come back home, eh? Just one thing though, just remember to keep it in your pants, okay? Right, thanks for watching, folks. On a serious note, if you can spare the time, please read those links, or at least some of them. And if you can spare some coin, you know where to send it. You know? You can make a difference. Okay, thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you soon.